Last of heartbreak, shock and delusionment for many Nigerians who saw what they thought was a golden ticket to financial freedom turn into yet another painful lesson. I am talking about the collapse of Silas, a supposed AI-driven cryptocurrency trading platform which has left many investors stranded, unable to access their funds unless they pay more into the system. Today on the program, we turn our attention to the intersection between cryptocurrency and Ponzi schemes. Why do they keep thriving in Nigeria? What should people know before putting their money in such platforms? Joining us to break it all down is Silas Chukuma, Emekwe, a cryptocurrency expert and online business consultant. You're welcome to Business Express, Mr. Emekwe.
Thank you very much, Madam Neka. It's always my pleasure.
Great. Silas advertised itself as an AI-powered crypto trading platform. From your perspective, what red flags should investors have seen?
Okay, first of all, when you are looking at investing online, no matter what it is that you want to invest in, you must first understand that there are no guarantees. And when I say there are no guarantees, there are absolutely no guarantees. Because if, yes, there could be guarantee that you make profit, but there are no guarantees as to how much profit you make. That's the first thing you need to understand. You know, a lot of people go into investing online with the idea that there is completely no risk, it's just reward, and they believe whatever they see online. And these are part of the problems that we face. A lot of people go in with so much greed. So one of the things, to answer your question, the red flags, of course, when you see a platform tell you they are going to pay you 100% in a month, I mean, MMM could have taught a lot of people lesson. 30% a month was not sustainable. Then what about 100%? Like, how do you think that is going to work? There's no way that's going to work. There's no way, absolutely no way.
All right, I'm really curious. Why do Ponzi schemes, especially those tied to cryptocurrency, keep thriving in Nigeria despite public awareness campaigns and past scandals?
Okay, so first of all, Ponzi's would work whether there is crypto or Naira. MMM was it Naira. MMM was Naira. So it's not about crypto. Crypto is just a payment option, is a payment gateway. And the reason why most of these new scams use crypto is because of, there are no, I mean, it's easy for anybody to just come in, and there are no boundaries, basically. If someone has an investment platform and it accepts crypto, you can accept crypto from people from all parts of the world, UK, Ghana, Nigeria. You can accept crypto. So that boundary that is taken away is one of the reasons why a lot of all these scam projects prefer to use crypto. However, the thing is here, crypto in itself is not the scam. Like I will always tell people, the difference between an entrepreneur and a thief, a fraudulent guy, a 419, is intention, motives. Right, because they are both going to present to you the same document. I want to do this business, or this is what this business is about, and all of that. And you get interested and all. But one person has the intention to follow through, and the other person has the intention to run away with the money. Right, so it's not as if crypto in itself is the problem. However, we have a major problem in Nigeria. Yes, one of them is the hardship. The hardship of the country is making people look for alternate source of income. Secondly, we have a generation of people that want to make money without working. And you can't do that. I mean, you want to make money you want to reap where you did not sow, something like that. If you have that kind of mindset, you are going to always fall prey for things like this. Thirdly, we have a generation of people that are very greedy. If you tell the average person that there's this company that, I mean, if you get invested, you get 8% in a year, they are going to look at you and say, what's 8%? Right? But once you tell them that you're going to make 200% in a month, that's what they want to put all their money in. So a lot of all these scams thrive on the greed of man. And the truth is, it's not just Nigerians that are greedy. We have man generally. Two emotions drive the financial market: fear and greed. Right? As long as these two emotions exist in man, you would always have systems like this come. They will take from people, they will go. Next year they will come again, they will take from people. And you are asking, these people, una money no they finish? Like, I mean, it's tiring though.
So how can the average person, tell the difference between a legitimate crypto investment platform and a Ponzi scheme?
First of all, the reason why, if someone is sick, maybe you're having headache and the rest of them, you could do self-diagnosis and just go and buy anti-malaria or buy typhoid medicine. But the right thing to do is to go to the doctor. Now, why are you going to the doctor? Because he is a trained consultant for things like that. So, while you're doing your self-diagnosis, you may be right? And you also may be wrong. You could probably be treating the very wrong sickness. So one of the things I want people to understand is, when you see an investment platform, one of the first things you need to do is do your own research. Research about it. And trust me, if it's too good to be true, run. That's just the truth. If it's too good to be true, there is a high tendency that it's a scam. Right? Secondly, get a professional to look at it. A lot of people would rather lose ₦1 million than to pay a professional 100,000 to check if that system is safe and save 900. But we have a culture in Nigeria where we don't seek consultants, we don't seek professional advice. Once you just, that's why a whole lot of things are messed up. You just go online and you hear, if one influencer talks about it, you just assume, just because this guy knows how to sing, he knows finance, or because this guy has 1 million followers on Facebook, he knows finance. And that's the reason why a lot of people keep falling for this. They keep falling for these digital what do you call them now, influencers. These influencers online that they pay them to advertise the business. They advertise the business, and because you are a fan of that guy, all of a sudden you are in there. And this is the major problem. So the thing is, what you want to do as an investor or as someone looking to invest, please do well and make your research. Presently, we have about over 5 million different cryptocurrencies. Now, the tendency that you are going to buy a scam project without consultant or without proper guide is 90% or 95% or 99%. There is a high tendency that thing you want to invest in could be a scam. But because you feel, now my friend tell me, and you trust your friend as a friend, not as a professional, you go in with that and you lose money. And that's one of the reasons why most of all these scam projects, they work with referral, because you're not coming into the system because you trust the system. You're coming into the system because you trust the person inviting you into the system. And this is where most of the problems come from.
Do you think regulation in Nigeria is strong enough to monitor and control such platforms, or is more still needed?
Whether we need more regulations is actually supposed to help fix most of these problems. But we have a problem in Nigeria generally, and the problem is implementation of regulations. You set a regulation and somehow some people are either above that regulation. So you have a situation where regulations don't hold anything. Yes, the government, the SEC and the CBN, they are coming up with some very good regulations, but we still need all the necessary agencies to work together in implementing those regulations right. You understand? Because we cannot have SEC and CBN proposing a regulation, then we have other sectors, other agencies telling you that our oga say that if we see this thing for your phone, so you have a lot of people live in fear, because if the average policeman stops you on the road and check your phone and sees maybe a Binance app or any of all these apps, the person already just labels this guy that this guy is a fraudster, this guy is a Yahoo boy. So we cannot have regulations that are not properly implemented. So I think the first thing we need to do is to have a unison, a union of all the agencies coming to understand this particular regulation and how best to implement it. So if we have that, with the present regulations we have, I've read some of the documents from SEC and they are very powerful, beautiful documents. But the thing is, can it be implemented?
Nigeria's new capital markets laws now officially classify cryptocurrencies and other virtual assets as securities for the first time. With the new regulation in place, how do you think it will boost investment in digital assets?
Of course, you see, like I said, our leaders, especially in the financial sector, are actually making some very good moves. And in the first CBN stakeholders meeting in 2017, I was opportune to be there. And one of the first things I said was, I told the CBN governor that was represented that crypto would function better if it is regulated by SEC and not by CBN. And to see SEC come up with regulations and to officially recognize cryptocurrency as a security is a very, very great, is a gigantic leap, right? Is the right step in the right direction. Like I will always say, cryptocurrency, everybody will use cryptocurrency. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So the fact that our country has decided to toe this path, I think is very, very welcome. And of course, it's going to boost the confidence of a lot of investors, because there are a lot of people that, I know a couple of my friends that on their status, they will tell you, anything CBN say don't do, anything government say don't do. So if they come out and find out that, okay, so finally the government have given kudos and thumbs up to cryptocurrency in Nigeria, despite everything they're hearing, a lot of people listen to the government, right? So once they see that, there's going to be investors' confidence, and it's going to be, it's really, really going to affect the financial sector in Nigeria. All
right, before you go, what advice do you have for Nigerians interested in investing in cryptocurrency but want to avoid scams?
The first thing, one of my mentors used to say, knowledge must precede wealth. Should wealth precede knowledge, that wealth is at risk. So based on that statement, I want you to understand there's so much money. The cryptocurrency market is a $3.something trillion market capitalization market. So there's so much money on the online space. But if you just go for wealth without knowledge, that wealth will be at risk. I've seen a lot of people make money, turn $900, $1,000 to $20,000, and in less than one trading cycle, the money is gone. Because if you will to the answer, you cannot maintain it, right? So the first thing and the major thing I will always keep saying is, before you invest in crypto, go for knowledge. Go for knowledge. It is just too important. Go for knowledge. Read books. As a matter of fact, there are free materials on YouTube. Read books. At least get a faint idea. I know people that have lost thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars just for being careless with their wallet system, right? So something as small as a wallet. A young man came to my office to learn crypto, and he said that I know all of this one. The only thing I want to learn is this particular one. And I asked him a very simple question, and he couldn't answer. So a lot of people just come out with that overconfidence, say, Masabi, and just teach me this one. And if you go with that mindset, you have to open up, be meek enough to learn what the space is about. That's your only way of making money in this system. Okay. Like I said, knowledge must precede wealth. And if wealth precedes knowledge, that wealth is at risk.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Silas Chukuma Emekwe, for sharing your perspective with us.
Welcome.
All right. Moving on, we now move to the commodities market, where